Hello guys, and today is another manga review from Clues, Cues and Reviews. And today we're looking at Bleach 656. And let's be honest, it ends with a bang. Now, there's been a lot of worries and concerns as a manga reviewer, as someone that really enjoys Bleach. It's not been doing so well in the ratings and people have had their complaints, but you know what? This shows that the manga, the anime has steam, and we really need this animated at some point. It's the final war, 1,000-year blood war, and this chapter didn't disappoint. I'm assuming this is going to be the last chapter of the year, which is why I wanted to end with a bang, but honestly, I was not disappointed. So, to kind of illustrate, the chapter itself was a pretty straightforward one. It did have a few shocks in it. I was surprised. But, like the saying says, the devil is in the details. So, to explain, the chapter starts off with Gerard, and he is huge. From his last chapter where we saw him that his ability was a pain he takes in, he converts that into strength, and strength is power and everything else. He has taken huge to another level. It pretty much is the Bleach version of Attack on Titan right about now, and he's a Titan indeed. So you see, there's a view, the way it looks like it's from someone's point of view. He's seeing it from far away, and Gerard's got a big ass smile on his face. He enjoys destroying, and then you see who that person is, and it turns out to be asking another one of the I can't even say the name. The Schutzstaffel, the elite guard of Juhabak. I think his full name is Askin Nak Levar. I just call him Askin, or D, as in the death dealing D. And it's his point of view. Now, initially, it does seem like he's doing an internal dialogue, so he's kind of going into detail about a few different things, and he kind of says that you can see that he's kind of tapped into his shrift, like the blessing that you basically gave them, and he wasn't surprised being that Lil Barrow or X-Axis got his ass kicked. He goes on to explain though that it's important to bear in mind these lot's power, because Lil Barrow X-Axis was the first chosen by Yuhabak. He was the leader of the Schutzstaffel, or the elite guard, effectively. But he goes, if you look at the other two, not including himself, he mentions Pernida and he mentions Gerard, and he goes, they had powers way before they were given the Shrift. They had powers that was given from way back when they had that power. He goes, so what? The power that they wield is like something else. And he goes, it wasn't long before they also got recognized with their power, because they were given those powers from a very long time. They had those powers. So then later they was given the Shrift. And he goes, they were that powerful that people started spreading the rumors saying that supposedly Pernida was the left hand of the Soul King, which as readers we know that to be true now that he's got his ass kicked. Also, he mentions specifically that Gerard Valkyrie, or Gerard, because Valkyrie is probably incorrect pronunciation, is actually the heart of the Soul King. So I guess the idea behind this, when the Soul King was pretty much encased in that shell, he didn't have no arm, no legs, he didn't even have a heart, so he pretty much was dead. He was just an essence in a comatose / coma type fugue state where he wasn't operating. That's why his body was guarded. So ultimately, we are gonna see more and more of the Soul King's attributes. Will we see the Soul King's head? Maybe his brain? I don't know. But in any case, they explain that Gerard is effectively the heart, so he's going to be hard to beat. Now, then he goes on to explain a little bit about himself. He's talking now. He starts finishing off the explanation, and he's going on about powers, and then he starts saying, "Was that a short enough summary for you, Ichigo?" So I'm like, whoa, they're having a conversation here. And he goes, it's pretty hard for you to understand all of this and hear all this. with your head facing the ground. So he's basically lying flat on his face. He's been decimated. Now he doesn't look like he's been completely torn to shreds, but he's out cold. He's like knocked. So we're like, whoa, Ichigo is lost. What the hell is happening here? So I thought to myself, asking isn't a joke. And then it made me think, well, Grimjow lost this guy. It wasn't that Grimjow was weak. There's something about this guy that makes him hard to deal with. So then, like all villains and all people that in Bleach, for some reason or another, they always seem to explain their powers. In this case, it worked out in our favour, because he goes on to this long, lengthy explanation explaining that in a certain radius, effectively anything that comes within that radius, he has the ability of manipulation. So the way it technically works, he can kind of poison and manipulate certain attributes or entities or volumes that people have. So he goes, in this situation, I'm basically manipulating reishi. So he's getting reishi poisoning at this point. So he's absorbed a vast amount of reishi, bearing in mind Quincy's really used reishi, and he's absorbed a load of reishi, and he's basically poisoned Ichigo with it. So he's had this overdose. Now, will that give him a boost later on? I don't know. But Chad and Orihime go in for the kill. They try to do their attack. Mainly Chad. He does his Diablo attack. But to no avail. He falls prey for that same thing. And he goes, what? Poisoning? He goes, no, it won't kill you, but it will hurt and it will leave you incapacitated pretty much. And then he finishes his explanation. Now I was thinking to myself, would this not be a perfect time for someone who's just in the area, just listening, to use this to their advantage? And lo and behold, before I could even look to the next page, there we have it. Yorouichi is there. You know, that devilish cat lady was there, ready to attack. But there's like an interesting conversation between them. Like, so he said, oh, you're in this position, why do you not just bring these lost necks, get it over and done with? So he explains the idea that he likes to do things in a beautiful, elegant way. He doesn't want to go around and be a ruffian. And he goes, I hate this about Bambi. Is it Bambietta? I'm sure he mentions. And he goes, as beautiful as you are, you are just ruffians, I guess. And he goes, beauty is not in just the whole physical visage, because I like to have some elegance. So they start fighting, and Yorouichi's flowing, so she's not affected by the attack. And it was an interesting part he mentioned. He basically said, I could manipulate blood, but I have to take crazy amounts of blood in. And considering I've basically got the shits from having too much latte, you can't really do that right now. So he's gonna have to wait for that to subside. So that made me laugh, because I was thinking, is he lactose intolerant? So it just made me laugh that he has so much latte he got the shits. So even Yorouichi comments on that. So they go into battle after this, and she does not disappoint. The name of this chapter was Lightning God. Lightning God was there for a reason. So I don't know if you remember. You think way back when Yorouichi was cornered and stopped by the current group second group commander who's Soifong, and she used that Shunko move, that lightning move. This takes that lightning move to a whole nother level. This is that lightning move on steroids pretty much, and it was called the Shunko Raijin Senkai, and it literally looked like she transformed into ENEL. You know how ENEL in One Piece has all these kind of circles around him? She'd literally channeled that and blew a lightning storm like never been seen before. It's probably on the levels of 1 billion volts that he could probably send, ENEL could send. So it literally was like ENEL. Now that's where the chapter ends. Now here's the problem. Very recently, we have been trolled so many times. When you think it's over, it's not quite over. And if this is how it ends, I'm happy with it being so overwhelming. But with him having the Schrift, the blessing from Yuha back, we don't really know if he's activated it or what that will be. I'm guessing he's not activated and he's going to use it, but I'm hoping this is the end of him, because honestly, from the whole 4 elites, there's only 2 left. Now, there's an interesting point I forgot to mention earlier on in the video. He mentions Lil Barrow, X-Axis losing. He doesn't mention Pernita specifically. Now, Pernita we've seen lose to we fought against Kenpachi, Zaraki, and the 12th division commander, right? The research dude. But he didn't specifically say that she's defeated or he's defeated. He just said in passing about him, that character. So does that mean that character's alive somehow? I'm not sure, but it's interesting knowing that this could be foreshadowing. In any case, an amazing end to a chapter. Amazing end for the year, considering what we've had this year. I'm really looking forward to next chapter. It's a 7 out of 10, not because it's that, is that. I would give it 10 if I'd not known any better. If this was the first chapter I seen and I saw that and I'm like, wow, brilliant. But the problem is, time and time again, we get too much of this. Oh, he's knocked out. No, he's not. Oh, he's knocked out. He's not. Like you did with the Bankai. With the Bankai, we thought that's it, he's done. He comes back, turns into an owl, then a donut, then something else, and something else. X-axis I'm referring to. So there is that worry. So I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved that Shunko Raijin Senkai move. I loved it. It made me think of One Piece and ENEL. It was that amazing. But that's all for me today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe as usual. Enjoy the video, share it with your friends, and hopefully we'll see more of this. I'm under the understanding that we're going to have a break next week, based on the release schedules of Shonen Jump. If not, I'm happy you can review the next one. If not, I'll see you in the next year. We'll see you then. Take it easy. Have a nice evening, weekend, Christmas, and New Year. Bye.